Hi everyone, Jack of Many Trades back here again with another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the DJI Mic. This is a relatively new product from DJI and is something that I've been using a lot in my recent productions. Anything from events to vlogs to just regular YouTube videos. If you've seen anything on my channel recently, it's all been using the DJI Mic. So I hope that if you guys have been keeping up with the things that I've been putting out, you will have heard what this sounds like. And even right now, I'm actually recording this video using the DJI Mic. So here's everything that you get in the box. Right here on the left and right side, you have your windscreens. In the center, you have this nice carrying bag, which on the inside, you can't really see here, but there's a little divider right there. And so you can put all of your accessories on one side and the mic carrying case and charge case on the other side, so you can keep all of your stuff organized and separate. Here you get a dead cat, which is the technical movie term for a windscreen, and you get two of those, one for each of the mics, so that's a really great feature of the DJI Mic. You get those for free. You also get a short TRS cable. This is for plugging one end into the DJI receiver and the other end into a DSLR camera. I don't have one of those right now, so I can't really show it off, but this is what the cable looks like. It's got gold tips. Here we have the charge cable. There is a USB-A to USB-C, and so that supports charging. And of course we have the case. So the case is branded on the top with DJI. On the back you have a metal hinge, a nice texture, and a USB-C charge port. So now opening it up, you see that the charge lights turn on, the display on the receiver lights up, and the two mics light up with solid green lights, which means that they're connected. Additionally, you can see the amount of time that you have left for recording on the left and right hand side of the receiver. So now taking them out and removing all of the adapters, we'll get a closer look at what these things look like. Alright, so here is a close-up of the DJI Mic. Turning it around to the side, you can see that there is a magnet on the back, and on the front you have a DJI branding with a green LED light. This indicates whether or not the unit is on. On the other side there is a red LED, but that is not currently on since it's not recording. On the right side it will start recording and give you a little vibration, and then if we look and turn it around and then decide to stop, we can press it again and it will stop and give us a vibration. On each of the DJI mics you also have a magnet, so this attaches to the metal clip on the back, and it's quite a strong magnet, so you can basically use this to attach it to a person's shirt. You can have it on either the inside or the outside, so that way the mic is either visible or not visible to the audience. You can additionally take the magnet and stick it onto the clip and attach it to any magnetic surface really easily. So those are a couple of ways that you can mount this while you're using it. Alright, so now taking a closer look at the buttons. On the left side you have a power button, which if you press and hold will cause it to turn off, and if you double press will cause it to be muted or unmuted. Right next to that we have the USB-C charging port. This can also be used to transfer the recordings from the device to an external device like a MacBook or something. So then on the other side we have the record button, which is this large one. If you press it once, it will start recording. If you press it again, it will stop recording. And you can also, using the included receiver, you can lock this, so that way when you press the record button it starts recording, but if you press it again it will not stop recording. And directly next to that we have the pairing button, which is used to manually pair up the receiver and the mic should they ever become disconnected. Although I think in practice it's easier to just drop both the receiver and the microphone into the charging case. That will automatically pair the two. So the last thing that I wanted to show regarding the microphone is how to attach the windscreen. As you can see here on the microphone, on the left hand side we have the mic itself, and then on the right hand side we have the port where we can attach a lavalier mic. To attach the windscreen, all you have to do is just line up the two patterns together and then twist, and once you do that successfully it will be locked in place, and then to remove it you just do the same operation in reverse. Alright, so now taking a closer look at the receiver. As I'm talking you can see the levels bouncing. I have both mics out right now and they are recording in mono. So if I pick up one of the mics and bring it closer to my face, you can see that the level starts to increase on the right side, so that is transmitter 2. Now looking at the interface, on the left hand side we have our mode, which we're currently in, which is mono. On the right hand side we have the transmitter 1 and 2 connection levels. To the right of that we have the battery level for the receiver. Then we have gain settings for transmitter 1 and 2, as well as the battery life for each of them. And then below that, we have the levels for transmitter 1 and transmitter 2 on the left and right hand side. If we had gain on the receiver, you would also see a plus icon directly next to the mode icon, but we do not have that right now. Alright, so now diving a little bit deeper, if we swipe up, you can see on the left-hand side we have controls for transmitter 2 right now. So if we press on the button transmitter 2 record, it will start recording. And so right there you see that the red light turned on, and then if we press it again, it will stop recording. Additionally, on the right hand side, we see how much time we have left for recording, and we can also mute or unmute the device. If we mute it, you can see that the red light flashes rather than staying solid. Alright, so if you swipe down, it'll bring you back to the main menu. If you swipe down again, then we get into the real settings, so we can click on this. And on the left hand side we can change to mono safety channel. This is nice because it allows us to record at the level we set. As well, it also records a safety channel at -6 dB below what you already have it set at. So then if we press this again, this turns us to stereo mode, and now you can see transmitter 1 is left and transmitter 2 is right. If you tap on that button, it will change it to right for transmitter 1 and left for transmitter 2, but we'll leave it on mono for right now. Then we can go over here to receiver gain, and you can tap on that. Right now it's at 0, but we can move it to either the left or the right to a total of plus 12 dB gain or minus 12 dB gain. Moving on, we have the headphones. So if you have headphones mounted to the receiver here, and you can monitor your recordings, again, you get the same options. You can go plus 12 dB of gain for your headset or minus 12 dB of gain. So that's nice that you have a pretty good dynamic range to work with. So here we have transmitter settings. So you can apply a low cut to all of your recordings if you would like. I don't have that set up right now. I kind of prefer to do EQ later, but if you would like that, then you have that option. For the transmitters, you can set independent gain levels for transmitter 1 or 2. Each of them can go plus 12 or minus 12 dB, so you have a pretty broad range over which you can record. Moving along, we have the record stop lock. So this is what I had mentioned before with the transmitters. If you turn this on, pressing the record button on one of the transmitters will start recording, as you can see here. And if I press it again, it's not actually going to stop recording. So this is a really nice feature to have, especially if you're going to be using this on a set or something where you have actors that may not be particularly familiar with the hardware. So here we have the auto record feature, which allows the DJI mic to immediately start recording the second that it's taken out of the case. Though this is kind of a cool feature, it's not something that I particularly need to use because I film YouTube videos and record when I want to. I don't really need to capture spontaneous audio, but if you work in journalism or something like that, this may be a good feature for you. So here we have vibration settings, so you can either keep the vibration on or off. When you do anything, I like to have the vibration on so that way I get a physical feedback, but if you don't like that, you can always turn it off. So the last setting that we have here is the LED brightness. This is for each of the transmitters. You can turn on the high brightness, which is what I have it on right now, which can be kind of distracting, especially in a low light scenario, so you may want to use the dimmer setting. As I push here, the dimmer setting, you can see, makes the LED much more discreet and much better for low light use. So finally, for the actual settings on the receiver itself, you have your link device settings. So if either of your transmitters becomes disconnected and you don't want to use the case to reconnect them, you can do that there. You have brightness, which the display gets pretty bright. It can also get pretty dim, so it'll work in both very sunny conditions as well as dark conditions. No complaints there. And the rest of this is basically just regulatory and typical stuff, so nothing to really go over there. Now taking a look at the hardware on the receiver, we have on the left-hand side the output jack, which is for the TRS cable, and we have the headphone jack to the right of that. Turning it on to the right side, we have the power button right here, and we have the USB-C charging port, so you can use that to charge it. Now, the power button is nice because you can actually press it one time to lock the display. So right now you can see I'm trying to swipe through and nothing is happening. But if I press it again, I can actually unlock the display, and that will allow me to continue to manipulate settings. So here we're going to be taking a look at some of the adapters that come with the device. So here we have the cold shoe mount. This is used for mounting the receiver to the top of a DSLR camera. So here I'm going to show you guys how to mount that. You basically want to make sure that you pull the spring-loaded bottom piece there hard enough, and then you want to insert it with the rounded part facing up in the direction of the triangle that is shown on the bottom of the receiver. And you want to apply a pretty good amount of force, but once you do, it should look like this. Alright, so here we're going to be taking a look at the USB-C adapter, which is right here. As you can see, there's a triangle printed on the top of it. You want to just align that triangle with the triangle on the receiver and put it into the track, and then just push, give a little bit of force until you feel it seat firmly and you hear a little bit of a click. Once you hear that, you know it's mounted properly and ready for use. Now to remove this, what I like to do is take my fingernails and put one on the left-hand side and one on the right-hand side of the USB-C adapter, and then just push together. That will cause this to come out nicely, and then you can just grab it, or like I did in this video, send it kind of flying. Lastly, for the adapters, we have the lightning adapter. The process for putting this on is the exact same as for any of the other adapters. You just want to make sure that you apply enough force so that way it seats properly and is ready for use. One thing that should be noted about the lightning cable that is not a problem with either the USB-C cable or with the cold shoe mount is that with the lightning cable you don't have access to anything other than mono for recording. So as you can see here, I'm tapping and it's not changing. So if you want to have access to the mono safety channel or to the stereo channel, you would just want to record using something other than lightning. If you don't have that option, just record using the transmitter 1 and transmitter 2 separately, and then when you offload the audio recordings, you can make it stereo. Alright, so to wrap everything up with my impressions on the DJI Mic, I gotta say that this has been a really, really great product for me. Somebody who is on the go. I do a lot of mobile filmmaking. I don't have any DSLRs or anything like that as of yet. So I'm doing everything off of my phone, sort of run and gun. And this has really been a great tool for me. It's kept up. The battery life on it is fantastic. I've done entire 8-hour shots where I was recording audio basically the entire time on device and to my phone, and I never had any issues at all. I didn't even really need to charge these things. So these things do last for a very long time. And with the charging case, you get even more battery life. I'm not entirely sure what DJI quotes, but I can say that you will not be disappointed with the battery life. It will definitely get you through a full day of filming, probably even 2 to 3 days of filming, depending on how much you have to film. That being said, I would always recommend just keeping your devices charged in case of some sort of emergency where you need the device, and that way it's always charged for you. But regardless, I think this is a really great product. The range is pretty decent. DJI quotes 250 meters, but in my experience, in real life situations, I had a mic on somebody on a stage while they were playing. That transmission started cutting out in my ears a little bit, but since I had it recording on the mic itself, I didn't lose audio. So just so that way you know, recording to the receiver can be a little bit spotty from time to time. Generally, transmission range is really good though, so I wouldn't have too many concerns there. But what I will say is that if you are planning to shoot at a distance, be sure to put the mic on record, so that way it records to its own internal storage. If you don't do that, you may end up losing some audio. It may get a little bit distorted. Just overall, I would say anytime that you're going to be moving away from the subject far enough to where you think it might be an issue, make sure that you have the recording as a backup. But yeah, so for $350, I think that this is a pretty good package. You get 2 mics, you get the receiver. The receiver is touchscreen. It works with the cold shoe mount. It works with USB-C and with Lightning. And even though the Lightning is a little bit limiting in the fact that you can't do any other modes other than mono, I still think it's a nice tool to have. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and got something out of it. I tried to go over a lot of the basic how-tos with the device. It can be a little bit daunting when you first take it out of the box. I know for me, there were a lot of controls, a lot of switches, and I didn't quite know where to start. So I read through the manual and got a little bit of help there, but hopefully this saves you guys from having to do the same thing. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Also, I have affiliate links in the description. If you would like to purchase this product or anything else through those, it does support the channel, so feel free to do that.